Accountability goes a long way. You are responsible for what you entertain. You are responsible for what you allow. You are responsible for what you let him get away with. You are responsible for how long he wastes your time. You are responsible for how long you allow madness to continue in your life. The moment you spot BS and you allow it to go on, you then become responsible. It's almost like a door. If every time you come to this door, you're being punched in the face, the first 1 or 2 times, you're like, okay, this door keeps punching me in the face. If you go back a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, at some point, you become Boo-Boo the Fool and you become held accountable.
It's Amber J. Lee. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's learn, pretty girls. And also, while you're here, just follow my Instagram as I also post updates.
You are responsible. You need to hold yourself accountable. Accountability instantly improved my dating life. The reason why I made this video is because I noticed that a lot of young women email me, and the first thing they do is blame the man. I've been with this man for 2 years and he's not going to marry me. If he told you 6 months in that he doesn't want marriage, why are you still there this much later? It's your fault. Because I know I want marriage. He said he ain't marry me, I'm out the door. That's your fault. But y'all don't want to hear that. Or like this one girl, yeah, I knew he was married when we got together, and now him and his wife are expecting a child. But it's his fault? No, sis, you decided to sit in that chaos because that man did not hold a gun to your head. That man did not put a knife to your throat, and he did not lie to you. These people are telling you what it is, and you refuse to accept it. You take accountability and get yourself out of situations, instantly, your life will be improved. I'm starting to realize that a lot of you guys are dating just to date. A lot of you guys don't have an end goal. A lot of you guys think you can change a man. A lot of you guys are just dating just because you can. Who else is responsible? Who else is responsible? And at what point do you say, I am no longer sitting in this chaos and moving on with your life? You're dating and you're sleeping with people without intention, which leads to toxicity, and toxicity leads to you sitting in it. And then you're sitting in it for so long, you become numb to it, and then you blame everybody else. When the entire time, you should have not been sitting in it in the first place. I do have 2 questions. Thank you for ladies for sending those questions in. If you want to send more questions into me, you can send it into my email address at amberjleebookings@gmail.com, or you can comment below. Hi, Amber. I am a mother of a 6-month-old. The guy I have been dating promised me that we were going to get married. But now that the baby is here and I'm asking about it, he is avoiding the question. He already done got his paycheck. He already got his paycheck, sis. You should have said, I'm not giving you no babies until you marry me, especially if he wants kids. But 1, he doesn't want to marry you. 2, he doesn't want to marry you right now. Or 3, he doesn't seem the need to because you're already doing wife duties. Wife have babies for husbands. You are already doing wife duties, and now you want the title. The man already cashed the paycheck. You already got the paycheck. Y'all live together. I mean, there's nothing you can do. It's really nothing you can do because at the end of the day, you have to focus on your 6-month-old. You can question him about it, but it's nothing you can do, really. You cannot force him. So either you can leave and be a single mom, or you stay and just put up with the bed you made. Let this be a lesson to your child when they get older that if a guy says he's going to marry you, you're not married. Because I can also say I'm going to pay you, but you haven't gotten paid. So sorry to hear that. Good luck. And that's what I would do if I was in that situation. Question number 2 I got is, I am 19 years old and I watched your other video. Period. I want to go on dates before I have sex, but the guy I am dating seems not to want to go out on dates. You are 19. You are very young. Well, we're a few years apart, but you are very young. Stop trying to force that man to do something that he doesn't want to do. You cannot make a man do anything he doesn't want to do. Like the girl prior, she wants a man to marry her. He doesn't want to get married. Therefore, she won't get married. So that same thing applies to you. You want to go on dates. He does not. So therefore, you won't go on dates. Move on to someone who will do what you want. She cannot move on because she has a 6-month-old baby. So she has to figure it out. You don't have any babies with this man. I hope you aren't going to get pregnant by him. You are not stuck to this man. So therefore, you can move on to someone who wants to go on dates and make it clear in the beginning that you want to go on dates. But one thing about me, I don't entertain men who have not set up dates within the first 2 weeks of us talking. If we've been talking for 14 days, you have not initiated a date, you will be blocked because you're not the type of man I want to be with in the first place. Period. Like I said earlier, if you have any questions you want to ask me below, please comment them or send me an email at amberjleebookings@gmail.com. A lot of women I see just don't want to take accountability and they want to just sit in long toxic situations and somehow say it's the man's fault. I am not talking about women that's been abused. I'm talking about everyday women who are sitting in bad situations. Like the 19-year-old girl who is sitting in a bad situation. It's nobody else's fault but hers that she is there. And she know that she's not getting what she wants. The first thing I want to say before I get started is that women like Ruby Rose, Ariana Fletcher, and the Jada Waiters, they are not regular women. You guys don't have the same advantages. A lot of women think that since these celebrities are like them, so they think they have the same advantages, and no, you do not. Okay, these women are not everyday average girls. They have made careers of being sex symbols. That is their job. I don't consider Ruby Rose an artist. I consider Ruby Rose a sex symbol because every time you see her, you see the back of her. So she is a sex symbol. These women will not get the same treatment as you do. These women get paid to do what they do. You don't. So if you're out there and you look like a Ruby Rose or Ariana Fletcher, big old booty, big old butt, the average guy, because you date average men, you don't date the men that they date, will not take you seriously and will take you as a sex symbol. Because and you're not on anybody's payroll, so they'll think you're doing it for free because you want to do it. Rappers and regular guys do not have the same ideology when it comes to relationships. Most likely, since you are an average girl, you're going to date a man with a corporate job. You're going to date the man like the mailman, such that, and the third. These men do not want their wives to be sex symbols outside of the bedroom. They do not. So if that's your main image and you're not getting approached, that is on you. Why do you think these video vixens are jumping from rapper to rapper to rapper? Because these rappers sleep with everyone. They sleep with multiple video vixens. Video vixens is what the image they have to keep up. Aren't going to date a rapper. You're going to date an average everyday guy. Those things push them away as to rappers pull them in. I want you to remember that before you say, oh, I'm a sex symbol, this and the third, you're not on nobody's payroll. So it's going to be harder for you to find a man versus these video vixens who are doing the same thing you are doing. Even OnlyFans women have trouble finding men who genuinely want relationships. And before you say, no, it's not, I have plenty in my email right now saying, hey, Amber, I do OnlyFans and I'm trying to find a guy to take me serious. Not in those words, but along those lines. I have hundreds of those emails that I'm going to address in my next video. The internet is not a real place. The praise that you get on the internet for being half naked, you won't get in person from a man. You won't. And that's just how it is. You won't. You won't. Not me saying, oh, pick me, pick me, pick me. This is just the reality of it. This is just the reality of life. You cannot change men. Men cannot change women. You cannot change science. You cannot change how people's brain works just because you wanted to. If that was the case, I could change all the women in the world and make them think like I think. Mainly, the man you attract is a representation of you. Not all, mostly all. Not all, because you're going to have the few outliers who just go at the pretty. But the most type of man you come up with is who you are. So if I attract 2 businessmen but 7 drug dealers, what does that say about me? If I attract 7 businessmen but 3 drug dealers, what does that say about me? You see what I'm saying? Each woman is a different type of woman. So for example, walking down the street, what type of man will go after this girl? Or what type of man would pursue her looking like this for a long-term relationship? What type of man would pursue her looking for a long-term relationship if she was to walk down the street? And what type of man would try to pursue her for a long type of relationship? I know you came up with 3 different men because those 3 different men have different types. Each type of, it's going to be a man that's going to be attracted to all 3, but they will mainly attract different types of men. And ask yourself with those 3 pictures that I showed you, how would each woman be approached versus the other? This is because all 3 women give off a different type of energy. They give off a different type of message to the male psyche. Okay? The reason why I'm saying this is because I want you guys to choose the best option that you can. That is the purpose of dating. It's not the purpose of sleeping whoever you can. It's not a purpose of getting as many dates. It's not a purpose of getting as many meals. It's to get the best option you can. So whatever you sit with, that's because that's the best you think you can get. Like that girl who's dealing with this guy who won't take her on dates. This is the best she thinks she can get. That's why she stands so long. Why do you think some women trap men? Why do you think some women fight over men? Because they want the best option they can get and they don't care what they have to do to get it. So if you know this person is not the best option, why are you there? Ask yourself that. And when you ask yourself that question, you know what that's doing? Taking accountability of your dating life, taking control of your dating life, and being serious with your future. And knowing, is this the best option I can get? You have to say no. Why are you sitting there? Take accountability for being in that relationship too long and get out. I want you to understand that the dating scene is never going to be perfect. It's never going to be right because it's always going to be one woman that thinks that she's the exception, that she can just somehow do whatever she wants and get the perfect man millionaire. It's always going to be one delusional person. It's always going to be one. But thank them for their services, because the more they do that and pollute the dating scene, polluted people date polluted people, right? So guess what? That's less pollution you got to deal with, because the pollution is sticking together. So that's less, that frees up the less polluted people for you. So thank them for their services. All right. And people say, oh, I hate the dating scene, it's so trash. I'm actually okay with it being trash, because guess what? When I finally found my gem, I know it's meant for me. Because when you finally dig through all that trash and that pollution, you finally see, this is for me. This is mine. You can't see it if everybody was perfect and everybody had this and the third. So thank them for their services. But yes, accountability for you, what you sit in, what you agree with, and what you entertain, and how you present yourself. Start taking accountability, because you cannot change the male psyche. All right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back with another video. And don't forget to answer some questions if you need to.